Hello fellow followers, drummers and music lovers, welcome to this video where I'm going to watch all the entries for Benighted contest on Nothing Left to Fear, and I'm gonna pick a winner, a second place and a third place. So I have only 4 entries this time, far less than with Scars, and I was a little bit surprised because I thought that Nothing Left to Fear was easiest to play, and that a lot of drummers were dealing very great with the Gravity Blast, and that I was myself struggling with Gravity Blast, and so I thought this song, Nothing Left to Fear, as a challenging song for me and maybe less for other drummers. So yeah, I was surprised to have 4 entries, but nonetheless 4 entries that are like top level. So thank you very much to Nicholas Regal. So he was the first to enter the contest, and awesome performance, as we are going to see. And then we have Marcellity, drummer, also really good performance. Then we have Jenko and Stefan Roas, both of them superb performance too. So thank you very much, guys. It's always a huge honor to have some people covering songs on which I'm playing. So thank you. Well, so who is gonna win the crown of the fastest drummer? Well, no, of course, you know that the first prize, the first like reward, is a Pearl Sensiton Heritage Alloy Steel, 14 inches by 5, together with Evan's Drumhead and that kind of the hoop trick that I'm using to set the hoop of the snare drum a little bit higher. So I had some question, by the way, on that, why my hoop on the snare is that high. It's because when I'm putting the drum heads, what I'm doing is that I put the drum head on the shell, and then what I do is that I take a used bottom snare drum head, I use the razor head. I cut the drum head to have just the hoop of the drum head, and so on the drum head, before I put the hoop of the snare drum, I put this hoop of the used drum head, and then I put the snare drum hoop on it, and because of that, it allows me to have stronger rim shots, but I have more leverage also for the Gravity Blast. And so I feel that for Nothing Left to Fear, it makes things a little bit easier. It's not the trick that I'm using every time on every snare, just sometimes. And for Nothing Left to Fear, I felt like it was a great solution. On the album, though, it's not the case. I'm not using this, but for the playthrough, I've decided to use this trick. This trick, sorry. And so the second place does earn some Evans Drumhead. Also, I'm going to provide one of these hoop that I've cut myself. And the third place is going to have some Scorpion Percussion drumstick. And also the winner and the second place have some Scorpion Percussion drumstick and t-shirts included. So anyway, enough talking. Let's watch the first attempt of Nicholas Regal. The order that we are going to have to watch the performance is just like chronological order. So anyway, let's go. That Gravity Blast is tight. Very powerful snare. That's pattern on the right hand. To go from the ride to a China ride to another effect symbol can be a crash also. It is super hard. It's moving quite fast, and this is super tight. Nonetheless, if I have to say something already about something that could be better, it's the nut rate of the cymbal. What is very hard on Nothing Left to Fear and it's kind of emulates something that you have with Archspire also. And I feel like if you play a Gravity Blast with one hi-hat or a cymbal every 4 snare, it's kind of a 200 BPM Gravity Blast. But if you play the hi-hat faster and you have like one cymbal every 2 snare, then it's a little bit like a 400 BPM blast beat. And so, of course, this is 201 BPM, so 402 BPM blast. So Nicolas isn't doing this on the cymbal, but believe me, it's super hard. I mean, for me, it was super hard to be able to play the cymbal, like one cymbal every 2 snare. Super tight bass drum. And that is different from what I have done, and that is pretty good, right? I'm very interested in this part. It's always interesting to see drummers playing a riff differently than what you did, and I think this is super cool. So that is great. It's one of the strong point of this playthrough of this drum cover. The bass drum is super tight, so congratulations. This part is just insanely hard, and don't think that I'm playing it right every time. Like during the tour I just did with Benighted, I guess I had 2 or 3 gigs where I was struggling so much to have this tight. It's super hard. Okay, same thing on the Gravity Blast with the hi-hat just playing quarter note instead of 8th note roll. But this is even harder. I thought that this was 440 BPM and I forgot. It's not 440, it's 450. It's super hard. And same thing sometime live. I did fucked up a little bit this part. Super hard. The Gravity Blast is less powerful on Nicolas Regal drum cover on this part than on the 402 BPM, but that is to be expected. It's super fast. Nice feel. And here the Gravity Blast is not that loud, but I think I know why. It's because, look at the drumstick, it's not hitting dead center, it's really on the edge of the snare. And I don't think it was the case on the previous one. It was maybe a little bit better. And so yeah, right at the end, it's still very hard to get all the accent from right to another cymbal. I know that because every time I play the song on the last blast beat, I'm like dying. Yeah. And the ending is interesting. So yeah, and also Nicolas is making a great effort on the Gravity Blast, like when he's playing the bell, to have 8th note roll instead of quarter note. So what can be improved on this cover? Maybe some blast beats to be a little bit tighter, to have the 8th note roll on the cymbal all the time with the Gravity Blast, a little bit more power on the Gravity Blast during the 450 BPM part, and that's it. So honestly, it's already extremely good, with some different feels in part that are super interesting and probably better than what I did myself. So we might have a winner already. Okay, let's watch Marcellity drummer now. That is great. The gravity blast is here. 8-note roll on the cymbals. That is super tight. Probably the snare is a little bit harder to hear than on Nicolas' playthrough, but it's also tuned very low. So of course, you know. Let's watch the rest. The right hand moving very beautifully from the right, China in crash. Super tight bass drum. Maybe the bass drum part here is a little bit less tight than on Nicolas' one, but otherwise it's really good because of the gravity blast with 8-note roll on the cymbals all the time. So he began this part a little bit too early, but then the rhythm are super tight. That feels also super hot. Nicolas nailed it, Marcellity drummer too. Well, I guess that song was too easy, in fact. We have 2 feet blast beat instead of 1 foot blast beat. Might be a decider between Marcellity drummer and Nicolas, I don't know. Here, same thing then with Nicolas, it's hard to hear the snare and the gravity, but I know how hard this part is. The right hand is not giving up here. Oh boy, well, I have already 2 really good videos with 2 drummers that deserve to win. Okay, let's watch another one. It's gonna be hard to make a pick. Jenko now. So about the sound, it seems that here we have kind of a camera sound with a trigger. I don't know. So of course it's not gonna sound as powerful as the others. It's gonna sound a little bit more like roomy and chaotic because of that. But it's still really good because on the blast beat everything was tight. Right hand moving from the right to the China in the crash. Gravity blast on point. We do have quarter note though on the cymbal instead of 8-note roll. Except here on the bell. So far it's super great, right? That part is a little bit less tight than on the others, but it's still very good, to be honest. And so here the bass drum is definitely less tight than on the two others. Don't get me wrong, this is still very tight and it doesn't sound bad when you hear it. You are not annoyed, in my opinion, you are not annoyed by how the bass drum is played. So it is still an incredibly good performance, to be honest. And as I've said, don't think that I'm playing this part 100% tight every time. On tour, like we did 13 gigs in 2 weeks, and I had 3 gigs where it wasn't that great, especially like the last one. It wasn't good at all. We have also quarter note on the hi-hat here instead of 8s, not 12. So that is a little bit more of an issue on the D beat, in my opinion. Especially at this tempo. When it is faster, like 240, 260, sometimes it's better to play just quarter note on the cymbal, like with the snare. But here, I don't know. I've just noticed that Jenko is running a live drum cam of me watching the background on the computer screen. I think it's a live drum cam of me. I was focused on his drumming and I've just noticed that right now. Well, that is an incredibly good performance. I think it is less tight than Nicolas and Marcellity. So that would be third place for the moment. We still have Stefan Roas to watch. That was still very good. So let's say that maybe Stefan Roas is doing a better job and that this is the less good video of the 4. Well, that would be still a very, very impressive video. So anyway, congratulations. It was stick. And the double strokes on the bass drum were amazing. All right, so let's watch Stefan now. So Nicolas and Stefan also entered the Scars drum cover contests with thickdrummer.com. So it's actually their second attempt to win something. So congratulations, guys. It's a huge pleasure to have you back on this contest. That was insane already. I think the snare, like on Scars, the tuning of the snare was really working well. Here, I think it's a little bit more tricky because you have lots of sustain on that snare, I feel, and overtone. And so when you play the Gravity Blast, the overtone are kind of taking over, and it is making it a little bit chaotic, so it's hard to hear how tight the Gravity Blast is. But otherwise, we have the Gravity Blast, we have the 8th roll on the hi-hat, we have the right hand moving from the right to the crash, and the China. I think everyone did that, by the way, and that is a struggle for me, so you guys are sick. That is tight. Insane. I have no idea how I'm gonna pick a winner. So okay, that rhythm on the bass drum was a bit less tight in Stefan Roas' video than in Marcellity drummer and Nicholas Regal drum cover. That was still very tight, to be honest, but a little bit less tight. The beat is beautiful. That was insane. It was really good. Yes, it is still amazing. Amazing. All right, so what do I do now to pick a winner? It's at least as tricky as to pick a winner for Scouts. It was insanely hard. Well, I think Jenko has 4th place. But now I need to choose between Nicholas Regal, Marcellity drummer, and Stefan Roas. Right now, I think Stefan Roas gets 3rd place. Because Marcellity and Nicholas Regal were playing really, really tight the very fast bass drum pattern that is at 225 BPM. That thing is super hard, and I think it was very tight. So, well, I'm gonna watch again Nicholas Regal and Marcellity video, so then I can pick a winner. All right, so I have just watched again Nicholas Regal and Marcellity drummer video. It is super hard to pick a winner, and I'm gonna explain why. On Nicholas Regal video, I think what you have is an overall better interpretation. I feel like Nicholas is having fun with the song and is changing some stuff and has really like, he is making the song his own stuff, and I really like that. I think the snare drum sound a little bit more appropriate to the song, and I feel like overall this video has a little bit more punch on it. On the very fast 225 BPM rhythm, he's playing more accent on the cymbal with his left hand, and all the blast beats are 1 foot. So that are some strong points. But on Marcellity drummer video, what I really like is that he is playing 8-note roll on the cymbal during the gravity blast. And this is super hard, and that was kind of, to me, the most difficult thing in Nothing Left to Fear when you play it on drums. And that song is all about having this note rate on the cymbal. So it was very important to get it. And so because of that, it's very hard to me to pick a winner. Nonetheless, I'm gonna choose Nicholas as the winner of the contest, so you win this crown, but of course you also win the snare, you win the drumhead, you win the Scorpion Percussion drumstick, and you also win a hoop that I have cut it from a Regal head, so you can also use that kind of trick to raise a little bit your snare drum hoop for some gravity blast and very powerful rim shots. So Marcellity, you have the 2nd place, and so you are going to earn the Gravity Blast Magic Package. So the Evans Drumhead, the E-ring, I mean, everything that Nicolas is winning except the snare. Sorry, I don't have 2 snare to offer. And so Stefan Roas is winning Scorpion Percussion drumstick. And everyone is getting a Scorpion Percussion t-shirt. So I really want to say thank you to Pearl Drums for providing the snare drum, the Sensiton Heritage Alloy, which is a mighty snare drum, especially for the price, but regardless of the price, it is a very, very good snare drum. I want to say a huge thank you also to Evans Drumhead, because they are very supportive, and I want to thank you for being a part. I want to thank Evans Drumhead for being a part of both contests. And finally, of course, a huge thank you to Scorpion Percussion for providing an immense amount of drumsticks for the 3 winners of this contest and 3 t-shirts. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. It means a lot to me. And see you next time. Cheers.